Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Remember what happened at Mbarara during the election of Honorable Norbert Mao. Now it's come to NRM. So is internal democracy more of an illusion? Well, Honorable Akena, what a surprise that your party was well represented at Kololo. How significant was your turn-up?
Unless you have not been in Uganda, I have been possibly the champion of iPod. I have really pushed for iPod, and under the iPod arrangement, we do have that issue of attending other people's delegates conference and functions.
You legitimized the sham, if I could borrow Variomus's word.
iPod is a different issue. And the issue which I pushed in iPod when we went around funding was how to strengthen these institutions called political parties. When I cry about NRM not function as a party, I cry as a national. I would rather have a functioning NRM, a functioning UPC, a functioning PFF. All of these parties should be functional, that they be able to carry the aspirations of the people of Uganda. What we have seen on display and some of the issues which we know behind the scenes. And now, okay, we talk an issue about Busoga, things about Busoga. But something which has passed under, I've seen it mentioned in a few stories here, the levels of poverty in Busoga do not make sense in a modern day Uganda. And how are we addressing those issues? We're not addressing those issues. We're now talking about the personalities. And that is how politics has been reduced to the issue of personalities. Am I represented sitting on some table there? It does not matter whether the people down below are going well. Now, in Parliament, there's almost 90% of members of Parliament have ambulances.
We'll certainly get to that. But I was questioning, you're showing up at Kololo. I'm putting this one
in context.
Yes.
I'm putting this in context. That gives you a failing system. Now, rather than correct that failing system, we want to go there, get the same sort of resources, and do the same thing. So, you must separate the two issues of what I believe as a policy direction, what I believe is the best for Uganda, and this function of the ruling government, which is also a part of iPod.
So your party is causing up with the NRM, very comfortable.
Please, iPod is a roundtable discussion, where we sit around a round table and discuss issues about iPod. Other arrangements, which Fonopono tried to bring about earlier, I look at a national government as a government for the people of Uganda, and we should stop this issue of thinking this is an NRM issue. NRM doesn't own this government. This government is property of the people of Uganda. When you're serving there, you're serving the people of Uganda. If we now start saying that we're in office to serve particular sections of society, you have missed the point. If you're fighting for government, you're fighting for government for the people of Uganda.
You went to Kololo. UPC went to Kololo.
UPC went under the auspices of iPod.
You were invited.
iPod.
They were tagged.
iPod.
Did you have an option to say no?
Yes.
Considering
but we have never walked out of iPod. Unless you're telling me I should walk out of iPod because of some other issue. iPod, separate the issues. iPod, I remain committed to iPod. Well, despite whatever has gone wrong, I will remain committed to iPod.
For the benefit of our viewers, before I get to Honorable Ofono Pondo, well, he already wears the tag. You see, even
the other person said the clown, so maybe I'm going to be a clown today.
Well,
who is that man who said the clown?
No, even his swag has changed. He walks with a lot of honorable swag. But if you could listen in to what Honorable Chris Bariomus said at Kololo, it would be very interesting. Take a listen.
I'm not associated with this kind of election, Your Excellency. It is a very big embarrassment for NRM to organize this kind of election where people just run from one police station to join another. There is no election to talk about here, Your Excellency. Whether you win or not, the results will be legitimate. And we will want a clean process. Although they haven't started, I disagree with whatever results will come out of this poll, especially for Western, Your Excellency. And if NRM continues like this, then there will be a problem, Your Excellency. You can ask some of the voters who are here, this is not an election, Your Excellency. Chairman of the National Justice Movement, Charity Peace and Uganda, I'll tell you, deep consideration, having evaluated the irregularities which have been marked by commercialization of this election. Your Excellency, sir, our party, as you said the other day in the National Executive Committee, that the commercialization of our election is us playing with fire. And I recall this, Your Excellency, because you do understand that we have now introduced into our party the sole profile
of the processes there.
Are you talking because you won?
Yes, no, not because I won. Let us pick one by one. Right Honorable Kadaga has been our second vice chairperson for 20 years. Earlier on, when we were in NRC, the president single-handedly appointed her deputy vice chairperson. Listen, NRC. Yes.
New constitutional dispensation.
Yes. I'm saying,
can you compare what is comparable?
Under this NRM, Right Honorable Kadak has been our chairperson, our second vice chairperson, for 20 years.
Yes.
If there was something to deliver for Busoga, if she was representing just Busoga, she should have delivered it.
No, but she was raising issues about the integrity of the process.
I'm talking about her being fought, and therefore my community will, which honorable Salam. You spoke, I listened to you.
No, because you're misleading yourself.
Just take notice. Just take your notes. You can respond later. Honorable Salam here, in the last election, 2020-2021, if Kadaga was so good, how come she challenged her?
Because I am from another party, sir.
Yes. No, but
do you get it?
No.
I am from another party.
No, but you should have left her.
I am from another party.
She was representing. But so please, don't cry for Basoga NRM if they remove.
If
Kadaga.
there are Basoga PFFs and Basoga UPCs, we will fight.
The net import of what you did then was to remove a good.
Because I'm equally good. Because I'm equally good.
So
there was nothing to lose.
You are not genuine.
I am equally good.
You are not genuine.
I am very genuine.
Two, you, the Baganda, and I want to believe you're one. You're the ones who say, you have a saying. Is it a proverb? You say, Bamusera mukatari ayombesa kubo. I don't know the evidence. My senior brother, Mukura has. Mukura. Barimus is my young brother, Mukura. After Mukura, Honorable Mukura raised the questions of too much money being spent. And you remember we were here last Thursday with him. There are things he said, which I called on the sidelines of this show. How come, if the question was corruption was bribery, how come he stepped down in the nick of the hour, and guess what he did? He endorsed the person he was pointing at as using money whose sources were not understood. In fact, Honorable actually, Honorable Mukura said that person was using money from foreign sources. But when he stood down, he recommended him to the voters.
So is he being dishonest?
I don't want to call it dishonest. I don't think, I think that's what you can put in the category, what we had said probably sour loser. Remember, Honorable Mukola,
you know what happened.
in the middle of this campaign, listen,
pretend.
in the middle of this campaign, when he was facing pressure, he's the one who said, I have switched on. I am now going to deploy a helicopter to move me. That's what he said. I admit, he's a rich man. He can afford, he's a businessman of repute. He can afford a helicopter. But he's the one who said, I am switching on in our circumstance.
So was he was he bribing it to somebody? Because you're confused.
Saying, if you accuse somebody,
you're just confused.
No, listen. If you accuse somebody of using obscene money,
yes,
of using unethical practice,
yes,
of using money whose sources are foreign, and probably.
So for you, a helicopter is what?
And probably anti-Uganda.
It is transport.
And then when you step down, you endorse the same person.
Yeah.
Then you are not genuine.
I agree.
Then you see, we must speak straight. We must speak straight. Then you are not genuine.
Okay.
There are aspects in this election that NRM cannot hide. And the reason NRM puts this election in a public place is that we can all flash bright light there in the hope that we can see where the lizards are, where the rats are, where the cockroaches are. And for us, we are happy that we are able to see those. Now,
Bariomus, with his seniority, comes out and describes the election as a sham.
Listen. We had there 8 leagues of NRM which conducted elections. In one of those leagues, for example, Northern Uganda, for MPs for Northern Uganda, for older persons, we had close to 5 candidates. Now, if Honorable Kadaga is crying, Honorable Bariomus is crying,
Mike
Mukula is crying,
Karangwa is crying.
Karanga is crying. But Karanga
even the youth are crying.
But
Entrepreneur is crying.
Kiwanda is crying, but also endorsed Kasolo.
Yeah.
The youth are crying.
No, Kiwanda is crying, but also endorsed Kasolo.
Yeah, they
circumstantial.
Listen.
To get
that's
reimbursed.
They are not entirely genuine, because if Kiwanda is crying against Kasolo, but when he stepped down,
Maybe the remainder the best.
He endorsed Kasolo.
Maybe
Karangwa is crying,
is the best of
but
the worst.
the others, and I can tell you this one, it took an ethnic tone. Why do you think, quote and unquote, the Baganda candidates for Central Region all stepped, the ones who stepped down for a Muganda?
Yes.
Against.
That's why it's Buganda.
No.
That's why it's Buganda.
No, actually we call it Central.
No, you said Buganda. That's Buganda.
Actually, I'm saying we call it Central for.
But it's Buganda.
So I'm saying there may be elements of truth, but they are raising it is not genuine. They are raising it because
can I ask you a question?
So while those people may cry, the overall body, yes, the overall body politics of that election is valid, because not every league, not every person who participated is complaining. There are people who.
Did you want everyone to cry?
Can I ask you?
No, I'm not saying I wanted everyone.
Can I ask you?
I am saying when you cry, who are the lawyers here? They say, please, if you come to the temple of justice, please come with a clean pair of hands. And I am saying some of my colleagues who are crying don't have a clean paper. I've actually written my article for Saturday saying, saying what Ssemujju said. Maybe many of these people, some of these people are crying because they found people
with more money
who are having more money and played them half clever.
Outfoxed them.
The issues that
outfoxed them.
I want to handle. Just help us to understand. The entrepreneurs reach elections called off midway because one of the rich men there had not only bribed, but he had bussed people in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam. That's one. You had the youth elections, violence. You have senior people, one after another, complaining. So I want you to address those issues because they concern issues of money, issues of violence.
Do you remember
issues of fake delegates?
Do you remember when a vice president was crying So you cannot prevent people, however big in your view they are. These people are crying.
Kadaga is a cry baby.
These people are crying. They also removed somebody. Let me take you back.
So you downplay their pain.
Yeah,
you're actually being diversionary. The process itself.
Let me take you back. When we created this position in 2005, second vice chairperson, female, we did not initially have it in our constitution.
It was an afterthought.
Yes, there were 4 women that time. Honorable Kadaga was the deputy speaker then. There was Bakoko Bakoro, Honorable Kadaga, Honorable Christina Poro, and Beta Akechi. We took the whole day in Nambole. We took the whole night in Nambole. We went and resolved. That's when we achieved the consensus at a breakfast at Presidential Lodge in Nakasero. I don't remember, and I was a member of SEC then. I don't remember Honorable Kadaga saying, you other women, leave for me this position.
But you are now.
No, you can't Ssemujju.
Yes, you see.
Yes, I'm saying I don't remember.
Let's allow Ssemujju to make
I don't remember her saying, leave for me this position because I'm Msoga.
But you have selective memory.
No, but I remember her saying.
You have selective memory.
I remember her saying, of all us, the women who are in this position, I am the most senior. My voice will be heard. My voice is bold enough to uplift women issues. And I think she succeeded in occupation of that position, and others, she has been able to successfully lift up the issues of women.
Honorable Ssemujju, you had from...
Yeah, because you see, Ofonopondo, with all his other shortcomings, on many of the serious issues, he has been objective. He now wants to sweep under the carpet the issues that happen. You had youth fighting.
But I'm the one who raised it here that
you have the
use of money. I'm the one who said it.
You had the entrepreneurs elections.
Are you saying
you raised it and now you're validating the process?
Are you saying that when NRM discovered that the conduct of the candidates in the entrepreneurship league and the conduct of the youth in that election was untenable, we should have proceeded? I think we took the right direction.
Okay.
When did you discover?
Let's listen to Honorable Ssemujju first.
You see, 2 elections, 1, candidates failing delegates to other countries. The one of younger people, violence. And I saw the behavior of police. I asked myself, were these police now imported from heaven? Because it is NRM people who are fighting, they are not doing anything. they are just massaging them.
I thought you should have praised the police for this time round. Behaving like a real police.
I am very happy. I saw them massaging NRM youth who are boxing each other. And I say now, was this police imported from heaven? That when it is NRM fighting, you don't even arrest, because no arrest was announced in Kororo there. But people were fighting, throwing chairs in the air. And then you come to the substantive elections. When you moved away from the earlier processes of, first of all, electoral college, but also security ballot, what was your intention? That you can go and line up and then have an election continuing throughout the night until morning?
4:30.
The old man was there up to 5:15.
You can give it to him
for staying awake. I am told.
But if we are doing elections in the village where there's no electricity, there's no light, you can raise that argument. But when we are in Nambole, in Kololo, where you can't separate day from night,
the trouble is that you are able to say everything. The trouble is that you are not patient. If only you listen.
Yes.
When the delegates, bona fide delegates, left tired, went to sleep, now they go to all the ushers, the ghetto youth, everybody.
By the way,
some of the winners were delivered by those codes.
Let me tell you, all the elections.
And you can have a professor. The professor as the chairman of the electoral commission who can't count from 160 to 200.
Let me help you, Honorable Ssemujju. Why the league elections took place in the night? This is the reason. we had to read the name one by one. And that took time. Why the election for the sake took place during the day?
Let's allow Ssemujju. We need to give other people space to speak.
Every delegate who was in Nambole was eligible to vote for SEC members.
As I said,
and therefore there was no need.
As I said at the beginning of the show.
So claims of fake names were outlandish.
Of course, you who alleges.
As I said at the beginning of this show, listening to me will cause pain, and Ofonopono will dismiss me. That's why I was very happy when you played Mike Mokora, played Chris Wariomus. I don't know how many times you have met with Chris here. And I've told him everything that happens in every party. That's why you see these parties are public institutions. These parties are supposed to make a declaration to Electoral Commission. We even taxpayers are funding meeting part of their expenditure. So these parties are public institutions. We should be concerned with everything and anything that happens in a political party. So you go and take over national facilities, you close roads, you take over our money and begin fighting, and in the end, you produce fake leaders. And these fake leaders are at the helm of our country. So the process in Kololo, but Chris Wariomu said they are very embarrassing. Ofonopono is celebrating, maybe partly because he went through. But the minister responsible for speaking for this government is saying anyone who said must be embarrassed by what happened. For you are saying, no, they are just crying because they lost the election. Leave Kadaga in all this. You see, Kadaga is raising legitimate issues. You are saying the issues you are raising are legitimate, but you are also been behaving that way. That's the only response you are making.
I want
because in the past...
I've just got a WhatsApp from Honorable Wariomu,
yes.
And I think it will enrich our debate. Hello, frontliners. The NRM conference went well, save for the poorly organized elections. The voters' attitude was no money, no vote. They looked at money more than the quality of the leaders. Access control collapsed, and hired non-delegates accessed the conference and participated in the voting. Everybody inside was participating in elections, including ushers. Huge sections of people would move from polling station to polling station. I found Renzori region voting in a dark area. The whole exercise was bogus. This is Wariomu. This election could have been organized better. Dr. Chris Wariomu.
But is that different from what I said? I'm the one who told you here that voters were extorting.
Because parties are supposed to generate issues, policy lines, policy platforms.
You see,
was there anything like that? What was it?
Listen.
And what didn't we hear it?
What was supposed to have been a debate between Anita Among and Kadaga? What did Kadaga say? But sir, you are protecting Chigongo. Why are you not protecting me? I am senior. Anita Among came and said, I brought opposition MPs. Yeah, that's a national debate for national leaders who want to run a country.
Yes.
Who should be speaking about the economy? Yes. Who should be speaking about foreign affairs? They are saying, why didn't you protect me? The same way you are protecting Chigongo. For me, sir, I came here, brought people.
Being in news is not a crime.
What is the difference between the NRM debate and the nursery kindergarten children of Ofonopono?
But policy issues have been discussed in SEC and NEG.
No, but they were invited as candidates to speak.
Yes, but
yes. Let me get to Major Queen Raboni. Major,
this one was a voting place.
We are seeing a sweep. The old guard are out, save for two. The president, that is the chairman, and the first vice chairman.
No, before, you see, Chigongo, the first time he had competitors, I remember, either Babu was told to go and contest against Bukenya, that is for Catholics. And that's what happened. He was removed. The subsequent election, you had Kadunabi. He was told this one of Chigongo is a no-go area. And Kadunabi was removed and given a job. And that's why these young men who Fonopondo was talking about earlier knew that the one of Chigongo, no competition, but used to go and access a job like Kadunabi did. In fact, the very first person was Medi Kagwa. That's how Medi Kagwa became the chairman of the Human Rights Commission. Yeah, so you cannot blame. But you know, you cannot blame these. You cannot blame the younger people. So if you want a job easy, if you want a job easy,
rebranding
pick songs that you're protesting against.
Gentlemen, it's now on stage. Yes.
First of all, at the beginning of this conversation, this program, I said I was disappointed. Why? It speaks to the reason why some Ugandans are apathetic. They are not involved in political party activities, neither are they very enthusiastic, because they look at us, the leaders, and they have no confidence. We do not exude maturity.
So where are they?
Now you see?
No, let them come.
We cannot have a decent conversation.
No, this is decent. You cannot judge people when you are just a desktop politician.
Now, what the people want, what you call issues, are number one, how do we organize our political parties so that we can have sensible dialogue and address the issues that affect us?
Can we get to the gist of the question I posed to you?
That's what I'm saying, because Honorable Kenna hinted at it. He said, you asked him a question, why did you go to Cologne? First of all, I don't know why you even asked that question. Because he told you, we have an inter-party organization for dialogue. So mature political parties talk to each other.
So that function was for
political parties, mature political parties talk to each other on matters of national interest, on matters of national security, on important matters of the economy. We cannot be in an atmosphere of quarreling. You know, people look at us and say, what type of people are these who call themselves leaders? You know, throwing stones at each other, quarreling, this one is wrong. When I looked at how FDC disintegrated sometime back, when the chairman of FDC was claiming a war, and I was saddened. I said, now these people were forming a credible opposition platform. What happened? We should be, all of us collectively, trying to move and form strong political parties and having sensible dialogue. But the way we debate, even here in this program, we don't listen to each other, we quarrel. Now the people out there who are watching us, what do they think?
What is the debate?
You say, are these the people who are in charge of public affairs in Uganda? Because
I don't think
when I go out of Uganda, people have a lot of respect for our country. Yeah. And the last 40 years, they said, you people, Uganda used to be a failed state like Somalia or the DRC, but now Uganda is exporting peace in Somalia and Uganda. Excuse me.
Major Raboni, can we get to the question, please? I am asking, is NRM experiencing a new dawn with the new crop that's coming in now?
Absolutely. I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy about those who are complaining. People who have lost an election. And in Uganda, we don't like losing an election. Everybody wants to petition after the election. When they say that your petition has no merit, you decide to stand as an independent. There is a lot of indiscipline.
Yeah,
across the political divide.
What does it mean when the new crop comes at a huge cost?
The most important thing is to build the capacity of our political parties, to have the right cadres leading them, to make sure that they address the most important issues that affect the citizens of Uganda. But this, political ping pong. You Okwiri, why did you leave your position? You, the other day, you insulted that one. Ugandans are not interested in that.
Okay, what does it mean when the new guard are coming in at a huge cost and the old guard who were appended are complaining, are bitter?
Who? Do you think my people in Tora are interested in Kadaga losing an election? They're not. They have issues that they want their road from Mubende from Mitiana to Mubende to Ssemujju built.
So you can discount their concerns.
No, what I am
The party
saying,
can continue
I am saying that let's be
regardless.
serious. Let's be serious and address the issues that affect citizens in Uganda.
Were those issues discussed?
Okay.
Somebody loses an election and in his own political party.
Okay.
In which session were those issues discussed?
The new guard one
For the whole week you were here
right?
in the session.
You agree.
Part of the program.
Some
So
of
you
the
pick
new
one that
SEC
was,
members.
no.
One through the tweet of the president will also be sharing some of the comments that have come in from different other personalities. But well, the president comes out to say in his congratulatory message, I congratulate Right Honorable Anita Among upon being elected second national vice chairperson, female, for the NRM. Does it?
Is she the only one that...
Well, there are several others. Yes, there are several others.
He congratulates all
Anita
all
Among also comes out congratulating all the other members. There was another tweet that was making rounds. Unfortunately, it was verified to be not true.
No, let me just read it. The president says, congratulations to all the delegates at the NRM Delegates Conference for its success.
Yes.
I also want to express my gratitude to enduring sleepless nights to ensure that all party processes were conducted successfully. I am happy about large membership, which stands at 20 million. And then he says, it is important that we do not let bad behaviors, such as bribery and unethical practices, pollute our NRM. So,
has been going around people
so the president takes is cognizant. The president is cognizant that certain things didn't go well, especially from
Listen, that is all. That is all wrong, sir. You cannot rationalize.
This is what he's saying.
Listen, he is duty bound to enforce the code of conduct, which he did not. He doesn't even refer to it. He doesn't even know it.
But he's not saying it here. First of all, I said so publicly.
It is successful, but so make up your mind.
A human effort. You cannot say it will go 100%.
As the flows as just mere glitches.
Guys, I don't know where you come from, but it must be really.
Well, I guess
you must be really.
I guess in PFF and FDC where you were before, all things went well.
We had a code of conduct.
Well,
and we enforced it.
Everything
Honorable Salam,
we enforced
you seem
it.
to be having a good laugh about what's happening in the NRM.
There's nothing laughable.
Let us see
There's nothing laughable about what we have.
Considering that whatever happened left the NRM bruised,
there's nothing
is
laughable.
the opposition cashing in on the opportunity of a weakening NRM?
You cannot pick stuff from the gutters and call
Let us
it
wait in January.
picking. It's not. You see, you infect an entire country with bribery, thuggery, lawlessness, and you call it success.
Success
You call it success by their own standards. I mean, this is sickening.
Success depends on what we set ourselves to achieve. And in our view, we achieve.
You are impatient today. You want to respond to every point.
No.
So why don't you start with the Wariomus?
I'm wishing the Honorable Salam to
When you start with the Wariomus, he has sent a message here.
But you
start
see,
with the Wariomus.
if the recurrence of this thuggery goes down into the countryside, the results will be the same. And I bet you might be a casualty.
Yeah, you're furious.
At that point.
You're furious as if you expected it better. Did you?
No, I'm actually wasting my concern. Thank you for reminding me.
We shall wait for in January and see.
You see,
Major Raboni, you said the new team is re-energizing the NRM. For what? When the two constants are still at the top.
Well, the two constants were at the top because there was no competition for their particular position.
they removed the competition.
But the bigger question for me is that these conferences that we hold and the elections, the internal democratic mechanisms we are trying to build, are they sustainable? Can we strengthen them more? Across the board, I feel good when there is a good delegates conference in the UPC. or in the DP. I was very excited last Friday when I represented my Secretary General in IPOD in Entebbe, and we were together with Honorable Akena. I did not know that IPOD was an initiative that was begun by the DP and the UPC. And the maturity we had in that interaction.
You said that's even a lie.
And FDC, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
You
FDC,
know, you are so selective.
DP, UPC, FDC were instrumental in convincing government that this was dialogue, inter-party dialogue was important. That's very important. So, inter-party dialogue is critical. Building capacity within parties, very, very important. And then building the civic competence of our people, our citizens generally. Because the problems in UPC, you will find in DP, we are the same people, Ugandans. You will find in the NRM, how do we fight, how do we raise the civic competence of our people?
Okay.
So that they vote for leaders who are going to help them, and they dump the habits of taking money from contestants and being divided along tribal and
okay.
if Kadaga is not elected, Busoga will do.
Do you agree that this election has left NRM bruised? And how can NRM pick up the pieces?
With every election, we learn lessons and we try to build on them. NRM is not different from any other formation in the country. Even institutions like traditional institutions have their problems, churches have their problems. So our political parties need to understand that they have to outgrow certain characteristics, certain tendencies. They need to have introspection and say, 10 years from now, what are we going to look like as NRM?
Okay.
20 years from now,
what does NRM look like now?
be?
What does NRM look like now? After all this full glare, the drama, the money, the bloodshed, the fighting.
NRM has a glorious history. From a fighting force of 27 fighters.
Today.
To now a political party that has a membership of millions. And with structures, and it has organized a state and an economy and has kept Uganda and the region safe. Has ensured security and stability for the country.
What I mean, in the aftermath, aftermath of this shambolic process, if I could borrow Bariumus's term.
But now the NRM has to do introspection, like I said, like any other political party, that going forward, what are we going to do in regard to the use of money in elections? It's a big problem. What are we going to do about ethnicity, problems of ethnicity in the party? Saying, I am so and so, I come from Busoga, if you don't elect me, all hell will break loose. Now, that is a very reactionary way of doing business.
Please, it can't be reactionary when you have all the leagues, 5 out of 7,
so
coming from one region.
I think the challenges are clear.
Don't think we are escorts.
Is it anything that matters?
It does a lot.
They were elected.
No, sir.
Was in PPF who...
Ask the question.
Ask.
If you don't have, keep
PPF,
quiet.
In PPF, don't you have PFF? I can't even PFF. Same clan people, and they co-opted the Saddam now.
No.
You
have no clue.
Having witnessed everything, you've also suffered a bit of the drama and the mischief that plays out in internal democracy. Do you think it's time to rethink internal party democracy across board?
But what is there to rethink? Internal democracy
it's failing.
No, it's a necessity. It is a necessity. We just have to find ways of how we can perfect it or make it work for us. What we've witnessed has given us an insight, but there are certain aspects which is scary. The obscene amount of money used. And when you take the source of this issue, like in America, they have problems of interests funding electoral processes. In the case of Uganda, it is leakages from public funds which are working within the same system to undermine, whatever it is. So, for me, that is a very scary aspect of it. And it's something which NRM need to really reflect upon. If what you're presenting to the nation is just people who are there to grab and use resources and do whatever it is, at least on one side, for political reasons, as far as the election is concerned, NRM have unmasked themselves and we can deal with them in the election. But as far as what does it say for this country, and me coming from a point of view of UPC, where we're being condemned, UPC rigged election. Obote came to Uganda on 27th May. Election was in December of that year, mid-December. Somebody who was part and parcel of the structure.
He had surrogates here.
Oh yes, he had surrogates now.
Milton Obote had surrogates.
He had surrogates, but it's different where somebody built an army, and this is where I disagree with this issue. And the president was very clear during, after Major Beriga's death, when he spoke to Parliament. The 27 or the 20-something was when he entered Uganda in December of 1978. When Kampala fell, in his book, Sowing of the Mustard Seed, he said he had 7,000 men under arms. In Parliament, he brought it to 9,000. But by the time he went to the bush, there were over 12,000, and that is what defected. That's what split. Now, Obote, who came without building an army, he was locked out. Locked out in 1978. Could not set foot in Uganda until May of 1980. We've taken this blame for years. For me, this election, I'm going to set records straight. Records of economy. People talk about economy. I'm going to set that record straight. I'm going to set the UPC record straight. But the most important issue of this election is where the people fall into it. Because NRM has nothing on this whole thing. I saw nothing to do with the people. As somebody who is in politics for the people of Uganda, I am going to deal with that one politically. But what this display was, it doesn't augur well as far as democracy and the growth.
Thank you very much. I just need to tell our viewers that we're now switching to Afro Mobile, and I want to thank our